Welcome back to the Boy Time channel. Today, the Flaming Lips. Yoshimi battles the Pink Robots. Wheel.
It's your wheel today.
Give me a yikes.
I hope not.
Ooh, got close.
Oh, last time it was close too.
I feel like we've been in a kind of depressive, epic, kind of weird lane.
Okay.
So I'm going to switch it up. We're going to go Flaming Lips. Yoshimi battles the Pink Robots.
Oh, okay.
We have a wheel. Finally, we're back to the wheel, hopefully for a little bit at least, because it's been neglected for far too long.
Yeah.
But we're back. This one was requested quite a bit. I needed to get this thing, going through here. I wanted something different since we've been doing a lot of folk, a lot of more like not sad stuff, but a little bit more, moody.
Yeah.
But Flaming Lips, I think, is the opposite of that. So, very excited for this one. I still enjoy the Soft Bulletin quite a bit. A couple of those songs in there are still in rotation. But I think this is the album that comes after it. And I think this is their most successful album. I think this is the one that most people know. So,
Yes.
but very excited. The cover looks fun. Everything looks pretty fun about it. So, should be pretty great.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I just re-listened to the Soft Bulletin a couple days ago, and I'm like, man, I was sleeping on this. This is like really, really good. So I'm excited.
Yes, sir. Okay. Spotify is down today, so this is going to be a little bit clunky, but we'll do it. So, first track. Fight. Oh, I thought it was Flight Test. Fight Test.
Oh.
3, 2, 1, go.
If it's not now, then tell me when would be the time she would stand up and be a man. For to lose I could accept, but to surrender I just wept and face him when you're not prepared to face him. If I could, I would, but you're with him now, I do no good. I should have fought him, but instead I let him.
That's a good place to stop.
I think so.
Fight Test.
That was great. Yeah, I don't know. I think I obviously have to watch the video back, but I'm pretty sure just throughout that whole song, I had a big old smile on my face. I got so many like great vibes from this. This was just so fun and electric. I was getting some vibes, interestingly enough, from like 70s soft rock. Like I got a lot of Eagles in that. Although Eagles never had like old school hip hop drums, but just like everything surrounding it sounded very Eagles. And the Flaming Lips guy sounds almost exactly like, I think his name is Jeff Lynne from ELO. And I was like, that was kind of tripping me up, but man, that was just a whole lot of fun. I loved that.
Yeah, great opener. It kind of reminds me of the opener of the Soft Bulletin as well. Both have this like just great energy and just like a great way into the record. Yeah, super fun. I love the kind of 70s influence. It's still fuzzy, it's psychedelic. Everything is just so loud in the mix too. You're just getting like bombarded with this atmosphere. I
Yes.
miss the kind of sci-fi tone that they go for all the time. I don't know how like much of a concept album this is. I'm sure there is a concept to it. But I don't know, the song just kind of dealing with sometimes you have to fight even though you don't want to, just that kind of sentiment. But it goes hard.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is very similar to a Cat Stevens song.
Oh.
So much so that they had to give like a lot of the royalties to them.
Oh
So
no.
that's probably where the 70s soft rock kind of influence is
That
coming from.
that could be.
Yeah.
That could be. I'd be interested to know what Cat Stevens song.
Yeah, it was what is it? Father and Son.
What? That's like one of my favorite songs of all time. I did not get any of that from
Interesting.
that song.
I'd have to listen to the
Okay.
two back to back. That's
Yeah.
weird.
Huh. Okay.
Sick. Okay. Track 2. One more robot. 3, 2, 1, go.
Unit 3021 is warming, makes a humming sound when its circuits duplicate emotions, makes it seem like it can love. 'Cause it's hard to say what's real when you know the way you feel. Is it wrong to think it's love when it tries to wake up? One more robot learns to feel something more than a machine when it tries to wake up, makes it seem like it can love. 'Cause it's hard to say what's real.
One more robot.
That one was great. Yeah, completely different vibe from the first song.
Mm-hmm.
This one feels trip hoppy.
Yes.
Correct me if that's wrong. I think
I
we've
agree.
done one trip hop album.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Portishead?
I
Was
did
that the
Portishead
one?
and then parts of Blur's 13 where it's kind of trip hoppy too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm getting some of that. And I really liked how spaced out and everything. It was very, very chill,
Mm-hmm.
very relaxing. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to listen to this album all the way through because it seems like it might be a little jarring between the first and second songs. Just because that first song is so high energy and electric, and then this one's more chill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Well, I'll have to see where it goes from here, but I don't know. Really liking it so far.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I love the moodiness of it. I like everything is so chunky and bright in the mix. It's just got this great, like, kind of synthetic robotic energy, but it still sounds really nice. Usually I like a little bit more space in my mixes. I feel like you can get a little bit more spacey with this, but I do kind of like how everything's just crammed in there. I think it works in this context. I think the song about, like, manufacturing a robot and then it, like, tries to become human and, like, have emotions and stuff like that. I'm assuming that's a big part of the narrative of this record, which is going to take, a couple of times to get through, most likely. But
Yes.
it sounds fantastic. I love the progression. The ambient kind of, like, sad outro at the end was really great. That was my favorite part about Soft Bulletin, is, like, just how spacey and atmospheric they can get, especially towards the end of that record. And this sounds really great. So good start.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Should we do a
Yoshimi.
twofer?
What are the lengths of these?
450 and then 3 minutes. I just noticed that they're part 1 and part 2 right next to
I
each
think
other.
we should do part 1 and part 2. We'll give ourselves the full effect.
Okay,
Sweet.
that sounds
Okay.
good.
3, 2, 1, a go.
Working for the city, she has to discipline her body, 'cause she knows that it's demanding to defeat those evil machines, those evil-natured robots. They're programmed to destroy us. She's gotta be strong to fight them, so she's taking lots of vitamins. Oh, Yoshimi, they don't believe it, but you won't let those robots defeat me. They don't believe me, but you won't let those robots eat me, Yoshimi. I know that she can beat them. Oh, Yoshimi, they don't believe me, but you won't let those robots defeat me, Yoshimi. They don't believe me.
Yoshimi battles the pink robots, part 1 and 2.
Um, yeah, I don't know if Yoshimi is has won or if she has lost. Kind of sounds like she lost, honestly. Um, yeah, I think that's like a perfect 1-2 punch because Yoshimi battles part one is, it's kind of hopeful, where it's
Hmm.
like, I know that she's gonna be fine. She won't let these robots eat me. She won't let these robots beat me even.
Real.
And then it's just 3 minutes of it sounds like someone being pounded. Um, and who knows, that could be a robot, but I think it's more likely that it was Yoshimi, unfortunately, just based on the size of the robot, based on the album cover.
True.
So I just want to take that into account.
Hmm.
Unless it's forced perspective, like those Lord of the
It could
Rings
be.
movies. But I doubt it. But yeah, I thought that they were really, really great. I thought it was very, very effective. I'm assuming this is kind of what the rest of the album is going to be,
Hmm.
kind of on this concept. And I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah, I can appreciate like a concept this upfront where it's like there's a girl named Yoshimi and she's gonna battle some big pink robots. I can get down with
Yeah.
that. That's really easy to follow. Part one sounded fantastic. I love mixing like acoustic guitar with like electronics, and I think it worked really well, especially when you have a human versus robot story. Putting both things in there is really
Mhm.
fun. The
Yeah.
vibes are just fantastic. I love how dreamy, kind of dream pop this is, as well as like psychedelia. Right up my alley. It's just the vibes are fantastic. I think part two is really fantastic too. I love the percussion in it. Apparently, Yoshimi is an actual person and she's playing drums on the track. So
Oh,
fun
thanks,
thing to
Yoshimi.
base your album off of, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a great 1-2 punch. I think it makes sense to separate them in the two tracks on like the album track list, but they would perfectly go together if it was just one song. So yeah,
Yeah.
very nice. Okay, track 5, In the Morning of the Magicians. 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect transition. I
Oh,
think everything's transitioned into each other.
I love that. Thank you.
Very good. Very nice. Thank you. In the Morning of the Magicians.
Yeah, that was great. David Blaine did a great job on drums as always. And I thought that that one was really, really fun. I really liked the kind of dynamic range it had. It was really soft and kind of melancholic at parts, and then it really picked up with those drums and then kind of injected some more life into it. I thought that was done very, very effectively. And I don't know. Honestly, that might be my favorite one so far. Very, very nice.
I agree. That was phenomenal. Near masterpiece. Yeah, I love the just like mashing of like acoustic and electronic and weirdo synths and all this kind of stuff together, and it just works really well. It's like the song is almost built as an acoustic song where like you have this nice little riff going on the acoustic guitar, but then you also have a bass line that does the same thing, and you have the synths that do the same thing, and they all transition to different parts of it. Percussion is fantastic as well. I think it just moves really, really well as a track. I think his vocals are better on this record. I'm appreciating them a little bit more. Maybe it's just because I'm used to them, but like the first record, there were definitely tracks where like his vocals were, I think, a little bit too prominent in some of the songs, and his vocals can get a little straining after a while.
Yeah.
But I think he's working with it a lot better in this album so far. So yeah, that one's fantastic though. I love just the reflecting on like life and mortality in the universe. I'm assuming after the death of Yoshimi in the last track, that's our that's at least what I'm picking up. So
Probably.
flowing really well so far.
Yeah, yeah, very nice.
All right, Ego Tripping at the Gates of Hell. That'll be a fun song.
I think so.
3, 2, 1, go.
All the billionaires were just slipping away. I must have been tripping. We're just slipping away. Was just wasting away. I must have been tripping. Was just wasting away. Just in a dream. Was just wasting
The longest fade out of all time.
No clapping.
No clapping. They did not enjoy that one.
No. Guess
Ego
not.
Tripping at the Gates of Hell.
Well, I don't know why they didn't like it because I really liked that
Mhm.
song. Yeah, I feel like this song kind of combines all of the elements that I've really liked about this album so far. I mean, you got like the kind of relaxed, easy listening tone, but then you got those trip hop drums and then that big chunky bass up front. I really loved that outro. where it's just repeating the same thing over and over again, but they add one little thing every single time,
Hmm.
including vocal harmonies, which are my favorite thing ever. So, yeah, I don't know. This is like the complete package. Very, very good.
Yeah, fantastic. There's no misses so far, and it just keeps like getting better to me. I don't know. Also fantastic. I'm just loving how like deceptively simple a lot of this sounds, because like they sound like more traditional songs, but they just add layering and all these different weirdo stuff going on, and it all just works so well. It's accessible, but it doesn't feel accessible at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, love the vocals on here. Love the sentiment of this one again. Dabbling into that kind of dream pop area. Like it sounds like a more grounded Fishman song, which is really great,
Mm.
especially at that outro. It gets all watery and just kind of spacey, which I really love. I think I'm reminded of Plastic Beach the most as we're going through this, like
I
where
was thinking of that
it,
too.
it really kind of captures that just like wondrous, like otherworldly kind of thing, but it's so fun to listen to. I
Yeah,
feel like this might be even easier to listen to out of context of the album than Plastic Beach, which is great.
I think so.
But
Yeah.
yeah, this is fantastic so far.
Yeah, yeah. Very big win.
Track 7. Are you a hypnotist?
Yes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Giving you for tricking me again. What is this? Are you some kind of a hypnotist? Waving your powers around. The sun eclipse behind the clouds. I thought I recognized your face amongst all those strangers, but are you some kind of a hypnotist? Waving your powers around the
Are you a hypnotist?
No,
Okay.
I changed my mind. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably my least favorite one so far. I don't think it's like bad or anything. It just kind of lacks the energy that the rest of this has had. Even the slower songs felt like there was a little bit more going on, but this one kind of seemed to meander. Especially those lyrics are just a circle, and it takes too long to get through it. Um, I don't know. I think it's fine, but yeah, my least favorite.
Yeah, I think this one does not stand out nearly as much as the other ones. With that being said, I still really enjoy it, and I think throughout, like when you listen to it all the way through. This is gonna be a really nice moment of like slowing down. But I don't know, I love the kind of like slow delivery and slow synths. The drums just kind of driving the track. The atmosphere of it is really great. I love the kind of like layers of reverb they're putting on in this chorus too, to like really make it stand out. I don't know, I think it still had a really nice ebb and flow to it. Definitely more minimal than the rest, but I really enjoyed that one. All right. It's summertime. It's not.
No, it isn't. Not anymore.
Liar. 3, 2, 1, go.
It's summertime, and I can understand if you still feel. Look inside, all you'll see. When you look inside, look outside. I know that you recognize it's summertime.
And a fade out. It's summertime.
That one was pretty good. I don't know if it's as good as like the front half of the album for me, but I definitely prefer that over Are You a Hypnotist? Yeah, I don't know. Like just kind of out of nowhere, just kind of a nice, sweet message. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess that's where we're going now. I'll take it. It was very sweet and nice, even though it's only 8 lines. I don't know. It's very effective.
Yes.
They're able to have a message, seep out in only 8 lines. So, very, very, very nice. That was a good one.
Yeah, I love that song. I think it's just, it still kind of holds the minimalism of Are You a Hypnotist, if you can call that minimalism compared to everything else here, but we're adding some acoustics, a little bit of warmth. I love the progression of the track, the weird kind of like channel mixing he's doing with the bird sounds and the snare and everything else going. It just creates a really, really, really nice atmosphere. And I love the sentimental like kind of value of the track of like, some people hate when it's summertime. Seasonal depression can work in the opposite way sometimes. I've kind of leaned more into that too, since it's like painfully hot out and it gets worse every year. So bring on the cold weather. But yeah, this track sounds fantastic. So.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I'm trying to find the Genius thing. I'm on the deluxe edition for the Genius, and there's 100 songs on that.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right.
The next one is Do You Realize?
Do you realize? 3, 2, 1, go.
Do you realize that you have the most beautiful face? Do you realize that everyone you know someday will die? And instead of saying all of your goodbyes, let them know you realize that life goes fast. It's hard to make the good things last. Do you realize Do you realize that you have the most beautiful face? Do you realize?
It ended.
It ended.
Do you realize?
That one was really fun. This album has taken such a turn.
Mm-hmm.
The last two tracks. I thought the narrative was Yoshimi battled robots and then died, and then it was gonna be like a depressing nightmare for the
Mm-hmm.
rest of it. And no, it's taken this sweet, sentimental turn of being like, hey, I lost Yoshimi, but like, you guys should tell the people that you love them. And I'm just like, this is so odd. That is not the choice that I would make as a creative, but that's just because I'm miserable and depressed. So, yeah, I don't know. It's very, very nice and very sweet. I see on Genius that this is the official rock song of the state of Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and I think that's pretty rad.
It's
So
fantastic.
there we go. That one's great.
Yeah, fantastic. I love how the two bands that I listen to the most from Oklahoma are the Flaming Lips and Chat Pile. Chat Pile sounds like Oklahoma. This sounds like something so much more than that state.
I know.
But I'm
It
glad that
sounds
this
so
is the song to
British.
represent the state. But yeah, fantastic. I love the kind of like taking 60s pop kind of motifs and inserting them into this fuzzy psychedelic rock atmosphere, and it works really well. I think his vocals on this track are great. I'm really kind of like warming up to his vocals as just like this more like genuine expression and less about like hitting the notes correctly or really going on
Yeah.
these vocal runs. It just works so well. This whole thing is like kind of maximalist and just like everything is so loud and in your face, but it just works so well. Yeah, I'm also loving the narrative this thing is taking of just like fighting the robot. She dies. He kind of goes into this like deep like has to set himself correct in where he is in the universe and everything, and then coming out just with this just like expression of love and like we only have so much time, we should spend it this way, and
Like
that kind of thing.
T-Pab.
Yeah, exactly. It's following that narrative structure a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay. I think we could do the last two together because I think the last track is just an instrumental.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm down for that. I want to let
Sure.
it ride. Okay.
Yeah.
All we have is now, and then approaching Pavonis Mons by Balloon, Utopia Planitia.
Alicia. Glad you had to read that.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
As logic stands, you couldn't meet a man who's from the future. But logic broke as he appeared. He spoke about the future. All we have is now. All we've ever
All We Have Is Now and the last song.
That's a good call. Um, yeah, I think All We Have Is Now is a great kind of, I don't know. I think these albums work best as one song.
Hmm.
I think it's like a great kind of close to the narrative and the concept of the album, and I really liked how kind of trippy and spacey it was. But then that last song was phenomenal. I loved that. Very, very psychedelic and kind of chill. Really, really great vibe. Um, I was getting a lot of enjoyment just reading the comments since I'm listening to this on YouTube since
Hmm.
Spotify is down. Apparently, the last song was used as background music on a radio show in Detroit. So a lot of people from Detroit are in the comments being like, always forget that this song was the background for like this radio show.
That's weird.
Um, so it's kind of cool how like Do You Realize has this thing in Oklahoma,
Hmm.
and this song is really big in Detroit for a lot of people that were like driving and listening to the radio in the 2000s. I just think that's kind of cool and
Hmm.
unique. And the song backs it up. Really, really great. And yeah, I'll wait to talk about the album till you go.
Yeah, it is interesting how like this seems to have a cultural significance, and I have not heard like a single song off of this album before today. Um,
Yeah.
like I've definitely, I feel like the Flaming Lips are a household name, but like you don't really hear a lot of their music like just in general like
No.
in the world. But it's fantastic. I love the last two. I think they work perfectly with each other. I love bringing in a horn at the end of this album. It feels like you've completed it, and they've added this one new element that just like really puts a bow on everything.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. All We Have Is Now is great. I'm loving how like not existential, but just like human condition-y this album got, and just like life, death, beauty, terror, all of it in one package, and it feels so cohesive, and it just works really well. So, last two are fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. But yeah, the album as a whole, I don't know. I was going into this expecting to like it, especially since revisiting Soft Bulletin and really liking it. But man, this kind of blew my expectations out of the water. I
Hmm.
understand why this is their most popular and why it's like the highest rated one. Yeah, this has like some sort of like I don't know. It's like they put crack in it. This is
Hmm.
like so great. Every single song, or at least most songs, really, um, scratched an itch I didn't know I had. So I'm really excited to go back through and listen to this whole thing all the way through. I think that that will definitely improve the experience a lot. So I don't know. Great, great album.
Yeah, fantastic. I think off rip better than Soft Bulletin for me at least. I
Yeah.
think when it comes to consistency, like it's like this one just feels so cohesive and like one big gigantic statement, with a lot of fun and like soul searching and all of this kind of mixed into one, and it just sounds fantastic. I think the Soft Bulletin has a lot of like really high highlights, but I think the track listing for me is not as consistent. I
Yeah.
think like Feeling Yourself Disintegrate is still one of my favorite songs of all time. That has not left my playlist since we listened to that album however long ago. But I think this one has room to grow into like one of my favorite albums just in general. I think this
I
is
could see
one where
that.
it's definitely going to be like as we listen to it and get more familiar with it, it's really just going to like deepen the respect I have for this thing because it just sounds phenomenal. I love the like how accessible it is while being very unaccessible on paper. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff going on here, but at the end of the day, it almost just like coalesces into like here's some really cool, almost throwbacky pop hits with like a psychedelic and kind of like noisy experimental, just like vibe on top of all of it. It's great. I love
Yeah.
how dreamy it is. Lyrics are phenomenal. All these tracks, I can understand the statement and sentiment right away with it. I feel like Soft Bulletin, I was like a little confused about parts of it. But I love a simple concept executed very
Yeah.
well, and that's just what this is. So phenomenal. I think we'll have a
Yeah.
lot to say about this in the retrospective, but
I think
very
so.
good.
Yeah, the concept's so easy. It's you're getting exactly what it says on the tin.
Yes.
Yoshimi battles the big robots, and you get it.
Hmm.
And that's it. Um, yeah, yeah, very, very good. But we have a wheel to
Let's
spin,
go.
baby. I'm hoping for a yikes today.
Aren't we all? Careful what you wish
Ask and
for.
ye shall receive, or
Ooh,
not.
almost. That was really close.
So close. That's fine.
We've been getting a lot of
What we-
semi-X.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why that is. You know what? We're gonna do the Aaron West and the Roaring Twenties in
Okay.
lieu of Flowers. That's an album that I've been listening to pretty much on repeat for the last couple of weeks, and I want to show it to you because I think
Sweet.
you're gonna maybe like it, but I don't know.
I'm sure I will.
That's why I put it in semi-yikes.
That's how it works here, folks.
Exactly right.
So next time, Flower album by Man
Yes.
and Roaring Twenties. Yeah, let us know in the comments if you want to see more Flaming Lips or where we should go from here. Because I'm
Yeah.
definitely interested to see what else they've done. I mean, these two have been back to back in terms of like release date, and they've both been pretty fantastic. So I know they're still kind of doing stuff too. So just one of those.
Nice.
We're just constantly doing stuff. But yeah, let us know. You can also suggest some other stuff. We might throw it on the wheel. Yeah, I think that's it.
We have a podcast.
We do have a podcast.
We do a podcast. We talk about hit films and games and what we're listening to now that maybe we aren't going to do on the channel. Or maybe we will. Who knows? We'll
Time
get to
will
it
tell.
sometime, but if you want to hear our live reactions to stuff we're listening to now, check it out. Also, if you like spooky movies and spooky music, we will be doing that all of October. So stay tuned.
Real.
But that is it for me.
Beep boop 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 bop. Bye.